welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. Yes, you can call me High Key. Tonight we are celebrating the new moon in Scorpio. Yes, I hope that feels good to you. It definitely feels good to me. It's been a struggle to get here though. Before I dig too deep, let's go ahead and just ground our energy very quickly, okay? Just allow yourself to get comfortable. Let your feet be placed flat, firmly on the floor, or just allow yourself to sit up straight, making sure your spine is straight and you have a nice even posture. And just allow yourself to start taking in those deep breaths in through the nose and long exhales out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Continue breathing in and out as we call in our ancestors of divine love and healing light. We call in our spirit teams to come in agreement as we balance, heal, and activate, setting intentions to manifest under this new moon in Scorpio. Breathing in love, exhaling fear. With every exhale, we release all tension. And as we become more and more relaxed, more and more calm, and more comfortable with each exhale. We thank you, Mother Earth, for always being our source of grounding. We feel safe, stable, secure, and fully supported. And we thank you, Holy Spirit, God, and to our entire divine spirit teams. We thank you in advance for the peace, the healing, and the growth that we expect to receive tonight. It is done. And just allow yourself to slowly return to the present moment by wiggling your toes, fluttering your fingers, and slowly opening your eyes. I smile because I got like ancestor energy, which has been coming up for probably a couple months now, definitely several weeks. But it was like an anxious kind of energy, like hurry up and get to it. Like hurry up and let us speak. Let us talk to you. Which makes me excited. I always look forward to these celebrations because they always end up being better than I thought, better than I imagined. That's scripture. That I'll get it correct and I'll put it in the description box. But there's a scripture that says that God is going to come through bigger than we could have ever imagined. There's also another scripture that calls out, eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard the plans that God has for us. I'll find both of those and I'll make sure that I connect them. I could look them up now, but I want to try to keep these as short as possible, so I have a little bit of a different format for tonight. Same information, but just being presented differently, which hopefully will allow us to trim down the time. Okay, so Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of transformation, death and rebirth, intensity, sexuality, secrets, and things of that sort. And being in with this new moon, or in conjunction or in agreement with this new moon, there's some highlighting where we could manifest depending on what astrological house Scorpio rules for us, or how Scorpio may show up in your chart, or what planets you have in Scorpio in your natal chart or your birth chart. Typically, when the energies pass through our natal points or positions on our natal birth chart, it tends to activate that energy. Okay, so I'll dig more into that, but just to tap in a little bit as to what you could be feeling and where I think that this could be going. So here's my prophecy. You could be feeling very emotional, okay? Of course, depending on your natal chart, but in general, there's a lot of water going on. So where you are, it could be raining, it could be flooding, God forbid, but that happens. But definitely a lot of water. There's a lot of emotional energy. We have a trine going on right now between the Sun and Saturn, who's in Pisces, and also, of course, the Sun is in Scorpio, and then Jupiter, who's in Cancer. So there's a trine going there, or a sextile happening there, where there's a lot of emotion. And I can say for myself that last weekend, and I wrote this down, but I'm actually convinced, and I received the confirmation. But in my own personal chart, from what I could see, there was going to be an activation for me on November 16th, which I believe was on Sunday, okay, on the East Coast. And that energy had me feeling kind of weak. It had me feeling a little bummed and emotional, like on the brink of tears, a little choked up, but no tears. It's like I couldn't really release the emotion, which kind of had me confused and puzzled, and I was questioning, like, what is this that I'm feeling? So I know as an empath, oftentimes you can feel the energy of the collective, you can feel the energy of the planet, what's going on with the people, of course, that we share Earth with. But you could also be feeling the energy of those that are connected to you, like your own local environment, the society that is close to you or in close proximity to you, and the energy of people that you have soul connections with. Okay, so what I did was journal, which definitely helped. And what I should have done, that I tried to do, but my energy was just so exhausting that I just continued to fall asleep or take a couple of naps, or fell asleep early, woke up in the middle of the night, that kind of thing. So if you're feeling that, you could be going through an ego death or a dark night of the soul, where we're being called to elevate, we're being called to ascend and break through our spiritual awakening. We're being called to rise. We're being called to do our soul work, which is definitely the energy of Scorpio. A lot of shadow work in the Scorpion energy, really digging into our dark psyche, our fears, the things that hold us back, the areas where our ego is not so healthy, okay, where our ego actually stops us and holds us back in fear. So we're not really manifesting the things that are going to allow us to grow and expand and rebirth to our new self, our next version, our highest self. Okay, so if you've been feeling that way, this energy could possibly carry out for some time. For myself, I'm expecting it to at least carry out through the end of the year, possibly going into February. But for the most part, the whole purpose of these moon celebrations is to make sure that we understand that there are natural cycles in life, and being able to celebrate these moon cycles or moon phases allows us to have the emotional alignment that's necessary for us. It allows us to understand that there are energetic rhythms, and my motto, life is about balance, allows us to be in flow with the energy. It gives us an opportunity to be in alignment versus hustling against the energy. It allows us to be in flow over forcing the energy, and just understanding and accepting that there is a duality and a balancing of things in life. And oftentimes, in order to elevate, not oftentimes, 99.9% of the time, in order to elevate in a long-term, solid way, where your elevation is going to be able to be maintained over an extended period of time, or it's going to be able to be maintained for the rest of your life, even, it becomes easier for you and easier for you to maintain these certain levels of elevation. That's what these moon cycles help us to do. We have to be able to break through, and it's going to require change. And sometimes we can be resistant to change because we are comfortable in certain energies, in certain spirits. We're afraid of making ourselves vulnerable, or we think that we're making ourselves more vulnerable. However, ultimately, we're holding ourselves back from true fulfillment and ultimately prosperity. Because as we prosper, as our souls prosper, we prosper. The inner world becomes the outer world. So if we're feeling scarce and within lack and fearful internally, then our exterior world becomes lack, fearful, and it's all scarce. We don't see any abundance. Okay? So this just allows us to spiritually heal and to manifest and step into our personal power. That's why we celebrate these moon celebrations, or why we have these moon celebrations, because the moon represents our inner world, our emotions. It can also represent home and behind closed doors kind of energy. And our emotions can oftentimes be very surface, very, reactive. And then what we want to do is be able to clear away the emotions that aren't serving us, and then allow the ones that are serving us to help to elevate us, because it all matters. Emotions, all of it matters. Okay, all of it matters. We can't block off any part of ourselves. And one of the things that I know for sure is that when we block off our heart chakra, we also block off our abundance. You're not going to be able to be fulfilled when your heart space is blocked or your heart space is not open. Because how do you receive abundance if you're not being true to your heart? How do you receive purpose and fulfillment if you're not being true to what suits your heart? And unfortunately, when we block any part of ourselves off, that energy, that negative energy, that blocked energy can manifest in our bodies as sickness. There is mental sickness when we are not taking care of our minds. There's heart issues and things when we're not really loving on our hearts and loving ourselves genuinely. And then other things can manifest in different areas of our bodies depending on where we are blocked or where we're not taking better care of ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to get into the signs and the houses and talk about the planets as well. But to just give you a better understanding of what sign you should probably listen to is your rising sign. The rising sign is recommended because your rising sign represents your outer self. It's the persona you're meant to grow into. It's who people see you as. It's your natural expression. Oftentimes other people can see it before we see it, but it's definitely like our destiny. It's who we are, how we experience life, how we approach life. It is how we approach new situations. Oftentimes our automatic response to new situations is our rising sign. It's our best self, right? That's why they say that people show you their representatives. Everybody's on their best behavior when they first meet somebody, right? Sometimes people can't hold that they can't hold that persona up for long. Can't hold it up for long, not even a couple of weeks. But it's your physical appearance, like who you show yourself to be to the world, or how the world sees you, your demeanor, your natural demeanor, even the demeanor of your appearance. That's your rising sign. So like I said, it's who you're being called to ascend into, to grow into. All right. Your sun sign is your core personality. It could be your purpose or your career or work, how you express yourself creatively. But it's like where you get your energy, like your energy source. Okay. But it's typically who you present yourself to be, like, consistently. Who you're confident as. It's your comfort space in a way. All right. And then your moon is your, like I mentioned, your inner world, your emotions. It's where you are comfortable and what your needs are, like when your needs are met, or what needs you have and what makes you feel good. All right. It can represent your relationships as well. So you can listen to all of them. That's great. But for growth, which is what we are all about over here, it's recommended to listen to your rising sign. All right. So let's get into it. All right. So Scorpio, this moon is highlighting your first house of self, identity, appearance. It's who that your sun sign. It's your core, your personality. All right. So this moon will be giving you an opportunity to possibly transform, to rebirth your identity. Maybe it could also be calling you to do something differently in work, but definitely giving you a sense of power and encouragement and confidence when it comes to embracing your purpose. All right. Also, Scorpio, the planet Venus is in your sign at the moment. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, attraction, partnerships, and money, is also in your sign. So Venus is supporting you with allowing you to feel loved, allowing you to feel possibly attractive, and could even be bringing in some partnerships. It could be in career, it could be in business, but some partnerships that are in balance or in alignment with who you are at your core. All right. You also have Mercury, who's currently in retrograde until November 29th, I believe. Yes, November 29th, let's be sure. Mercury is in retrograde until November 29th. He actually just went back into the sign of Scorpio. He had moved into Sagittarius, then he went retrograde, and then he shifted back into Scorpio. So he's given us an opportunity to clear some things out in the areas that Scorpio rules for us. All right, so he's given us an opportunity to revisit, refine, and reflect on possibly communication, information, maybe even some like short distance traveling. But Mercury retrogrades are a time to slow down. Okay, so you're being encouraged to slow down, possibly love on yourself, maybe embrace more of who you are at your core, for Scorpio suns. But for Scorpio risings, this could definitely apply to how you're going to grow and what you are manifesting to move into your next level, your next timeline. All right. Sagittarius, this moon is highlighting your 12th house of the conscious and subconscious mind, the house of spirituality, intention. It also is the house of secrets and solitude. And right now, you could be just feeling the need to take some action, the need to be more assertive, because Mars is in your sign. And Mars is the planet of energy and desire. But Mars also is the planet of conflict, fighting, wars. And so you could be having some opportunity to fight for yourself, to fight for what you believe in, to fight for your spiritual growth, honestly. Like realizing what could be holding you back, realizing, you know, are there things that you have compromised spiritually, things that you have ignored or maybe fallen away from when it comes to your beliefs and your values. But it's also telling you to focus inward, to possibly maybe go into solitude and really dig deep into what's the truth, accepting the truth and standing on the truth, or taking action. And when I say take action, it's more of an internal kind of like rising up, like being courageous, having the courage to stand up for what you believe in. Also allowing your subconscious mind to speak. That's where that solitude is coming from. It's like, go within and like hurry up and do it. Go within and really allow your subconscious mind, your intuition to drive you, to encourage you. All right. Aquarius, this moon is highlighting your, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Capricorn, this moon is highlighting your 11th house, the house of friendships, social networks, groups, aspirations. It's giving you an opportunity to manifest in those areas. How can you use this Scorpion energy to transform friendships? How can you use the energy of Scorpio to rebirth better networks, partnerships that are in alignment? It could also be revisiting your aspirations, your goals, what you want to achieve and accomplish in life, and giving you an opportunity to reflect on that and realign with your long-term goals and what you may have wanted in the past, like a deeper truth, and really recognizing if maybe you've abandoned some of your aspirations for the sake of partnership, for the sake of social groups, friendships. This is your opportunity to transform, okay? Especially if you are a Capricorn rising. If you are looking to grow, you're looking to elevate and to ascend. This is your calling. The call is to reevaluate, revisit where you could have neglected yourself, sabotaged yourself for the sake of groups, friendships, and ignored maybe your goals and dreams and ambitions. Okay. Aquarius, this moon is highlighting your 10th house. 10th house of career, reputation, authority. Could even be like your discipline, your drive. Are there areas where you want to transform, do something different, or you want to become more intimate with your work, doing something that may be more purposeful? It could also be opening yourself up to a career that's more in alignment with your purpose. Yeah. Do you need to be more driven or disciplined with work? Is there a career that would give you more drive, that would make you more disciplined, but also allow you to be more fulfilled? Okay. And then Aquarius, you also have Pluto in your sign, who's going to be there for the next 20 plus years. And this energy has actually allowed us to have a big shift in society, even in generational patterns, where we're being called to be more intuitive, expanding ourselves more mentally, intellectually, being wiser, even in our words, even in the ways that we speak, the ways that we think, how we talk, how we communicate. Breaking out of toxic patterns, toxic communities, coming away from things that keep us bogged down, brokenhearted, and weak. Not feeling at our best, not feeling strong. We're being called to elevate our mental. Okay. All right. Next is Pisces, sun, moon, or rising. There's a lot going on in Pisces. Pisces, this moon is highlighting your 9th house of philosophy, higher education, possibly long distance travel. Are you being called to be more adventurous, more optimistic? If you're a Pisces rising and you are ready for growth, you may be tired of the same thing. You could be tired of generational wounds, toxic relationships, or partnerships. Even could be toxic family dynamics. You're not feeling very strong, very confident. You may not be feeling like yourself. You're definitely being called to rise up. You're being called with, the North Node is also in Pisces right now. Our North Node is our soul's purpose. It's what we need to evolve, the area that we need to evolve and step out of our comfort zone to rise into or step into. It's moving away from our South Node energy. So you have to know a little bit about your birth chart to know where your South Node is. But you could, just in general, you could be feeling like, if you're a Pisces sun, this energy could be calling you to transition or transform out of like focusing on the details, focusing on maybe just work. Like if you're using work to distract you so that you're blocking off parts of yourself, that you're not dealing with parts of yourself. A lot of past energy, a lot of old, I get heavy generation and family kind of energy that could have also found its way in your relationships. But the energy is, highlighting where you may need to be a little more philosophical, also elevating mentally, learning more, maybe reading more, and even traveling. Like, are there some long distance places that you want to go? And maybe thinking about what it would take for you to get there. What do you have to do to be able to allow yourself to experience or travel somewhere that you've wanted to go. Could be a childhood dream. Could also be somewhere that you may have want to experience with loved ones or those that you are connected with. Okay, so Pisces, you also have the planets of Saturn and Neptune, who are both in retrograde in your sign. The planet of Saturn, excuse me, is a planet of discipline and maturity. It's a planet of karma as well. The planet of Neptune is the planet of dreams, spirituality. It's also a planet of delusions. And you're being called to break out of unrealistic expectations. And if you're focusing on the details of those unrealistic expectations, you're holding yourself back. If you're avoiding things, you're doing a lot of escapism or practicing a lot of like distractions, like you're using a lot of distractions, it's blocking you from your growth, your elevation, your soul's purpose. It's keeping you stuck in this low south node vibration, possibly. Okay, and that's for if you want growth. Now, if you're comfortable and you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. But if you're comfortable and you're happy and you know you're able to take this energy and embrace it, like I was talking about earlier, you're in flow with it, you're not forcing anything, you're not controlling anything, then you could be really finding some breakthroughs. But if you're not connecting with it, and you could be a Pisces rising possibly, especially like I said, if you're wanting growth. If you're a Pisces sun, you could be looking at this when it comes to work related. Like, are you in a job that is just kind of keeping you bound, keeping you stuck and held back? Like, do you want something that's more, that's going to allow you to kind of break free? You could also be doing work that maybe like people in your family have done. If you're a Pisces moon, you could be feeling this energy in your family dynamics, behind closed doors, at home, or emotionally. You could be feeling like a need to break through or break out. All right. Let me give you a little bit more information here, Pisces. I've been reading this for a couple weeks, but let's just dig back into it. The Saturn retrograde and the Neptune retrograde, just to give you an understanding, I'm reading from the Auraline Astrology Planner for 2025, of course. So, Saturn retrogrades impact our boundaries, self-discipline, and control. When in retrograde, Saturn itself impacts our boundaries, self-discipline, and control. When in retrograde, it's common to feel overburdened and overworked as a result of a lack of said boundaries or self-control. Herein lies the lesson. This is an opportune time for reflecting on the efficiency of the structures in your life. For example, schedules, business, and relationship dynamics. So heavy on the feeling overworked, like I had mentioned. You could be working a lot and just kind of feeling bogged down with that, feeling kind of stuck with that, or you're trying to work a lot, like you're you're being called to reevaluate some things with work. Piscean energy, when it's not so healthy or it's in a low vibration, definitely doesn't have any boundaries. Very open, everywhere, all over the place kind of energy. And this could definitely be a place where you're lacking control, which comes with both of these planets. So you're really being called to tap in, go within, ask yourself some hard questions, do some of that deeper inner shadow work, and maybe even go back and look at generational patterns that you want to release. Like, this is where you're being tested, and are you going to pass the test and learn the lesson? Okay, you got a little bit of time here, so be in flow with the energy, be in alignment with the energy. Don't resist it, don't try to control it. All right, take the lesson, because the lesson is going to create the blessing. All right, can you have better schedules? Do you want better business or relationship dynamics? Like, do you want to be more in alignment? Okay, like really focusing on how efficient the structures are in your life. Okay, and then who else? Neptune retrograde. Neptune is the planet of feminine energy, impacts our ideas, what's ideal, religious and spiritual aspects of our personal lives. And in retrograde, Neptune has an ability to detach us from our egocentric perspectives, allowing us to feel more connected to one another and the universe. It's an ideal time to reflect on how you're serving others around you and implement healthy boundaries if necessary. I hope you're not feeling sick. If you are feeling sick, like sick to your stomach, like something could also make you like vomit. Oh man, that might be confirmation right there. But if you are, yeah, it's like are you grossed out? What grosses you out? Has your ego been holding you back, keeping you in fear, keeping you stuck, keeping you bound? Is there something that you've been too prideful to admit, to see? Is it blocking you from being more connected in business and in relationships? Is it blocking you from being more connected to the earth and Gaia, goddess energy, God energy? Are you disconnected from all things eternal? Have you been very, very earthbound to where you're almost like suppressed on earth? Very heavy energy. That's a generational releasing. How are you serving others around you? And how can you implement healthy boundaries? Heavy on the boundaries, Pisces. Heavy on the boundaries. All right, it's 10 o'clock even. We had a confirmation with the music stopping, but we'll get that back going here in a second. Okay. All right, moving on. So Pisces, Aries, this moon is highlighting your 8th house. The 8th house of transforming. Oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought. Forgive me, Aries. Yeah, transforming. I was right. Transforming, intimacy. It carries that Scorpio energy, the death and rebirth kind of energy, the passion, observant, sexual energy. intense intensity, power. Okay, Aries. So this moon is highlighting, where you are investing. Where are you putting your energy into? Okay? How do you want to transform? How do you want to be more connected? What areas of life do you want to dig deeper, or you want to have deeper meaning? Right now, Aries, you have Chiron, known as the wounded healer, in your sign. And Chiron will be in Aries for some time, but he's currently in retrograde. And he'll be in retrograde through January 2nd, to be exact. And a Chiron retrograde is definitely a revisiting of wounds and healing. Chiron impacts how we experience healing, wounds, and personal growth. And when in retrograde, Chiron brings about profound inner transformation. So the transformation piece is big for you here. You're definitely being supported there with whatever you want to manifest. Due to its ability to bring our deepest wounds to the surface. So what do you want to heal? What's something that could have hurt you, harmed you? It could also be some generational wounds there, family ties. There could be something that maybe disappointed you in childhood, something that stuck with you kind of deeply. You may have asked, like, why, why did it have to be this way? I don't want to say why me. That's something I've never allowed myself to ask, because I feel like, why not you? When it comes to certain things in life, like, people, there's always, it could always be worse, and people are always going through worse or have been through worse. So it's kind of like not to question why you. So I don't want to say why you, but there could have been something that happened some time ago, a deep wound that made you kind of question, like, why did that have to happen? And what that is going to allow you to learn and receive the blessing from is going to be your superpower. It's going to push you into your purpose. It's going to allow you to be more aware of who you are, like your identity and who you present yourself to be. It's giving you an opportunity for, like, a new beginning for your higher self. Okay, as you push through this Chiron energy, really allowing ourselves to dig deep into what hurt us and taking it and allowing it to identify us, because now we found the strength in it. Okay, the Chiron retrograde, this offers us an opportunity to explore how our subconscious mind addresses these wounds and what its objectives are within the areas of healing and personal growth. So how are you going to allow these wounds to make you better? What lesson are you going to take from it? It's not something you probably could control. So you release any type of guilt, shame, or burden around something that was not in your control, and allow yourself to use it to strengthen you. So let's just give you an example, Aries. Maybe when you were young, your parents broke up or weren't together, or you didn't get an opportunity to experience them together or in a healthy relationship, right? But And that may have disappointed you. That may have made you feel, you know, like you didn't deserve it, or like they didn't fight hard for you, or something to that effect. But hopefully, what you've been able to take away from it is what you've gained. So you've gained an understanding of maybe what healthy relationship dynamics look like, or maybe understanding sometimes that relationships change, love rearranges, and sometimes people see things differently, or they grow apart, or they had to make a decision that was best for you in a healthy way. Okay? That's the kind of energy that I'm getting from this. It's like you can take that, and God forbid you have to co parent in the future, but you could have seen or learned how to co parent in a healthy way, how to have a blended family, how to enjoy two homes. You could have also learned maybe um, like what strengths and weaknesses each of your parents may have had, and you could possibly see how they could have worked together, like what drew them together, what connected them together, and then what possibly could have also made them split or made them part ways as well. And so what that has allowed you to do, Aries, is giving you the courage and the know-how and the confidence to know when things need to change. So you may not need to hold on so tightly when it's time for change. And being the new beginnings kind of energy that you are, where you initiate change and you kick things off and you are a leader, you know, possibly self-motivated, self-driven, you could understand exactly what it means to embrace change and step into the unknown. Not to your detriment. Of course, everything is about balance. So don't want to be impulsive, but this energy could be allowing you to just kind of slow down, reflect, and just see how you can balance this out with your Kickstarter kind of energy. All right. So, who's next? Taurus. Taurus, this energy or this moon is highlighting your seventh house. Seventh house, seventh house. Seventh house. I'm pretty sure. Sorry, I'm flipping back and forth. Your seventh house of partnerships, contracts, and public enemies. All right. It's where you want to be more diplomatic and you want to have more balance. Okay. So, what do you want to manifest? What do you want to transform? What do you want to rebirth in partnerships? Have your enemies been exposed? Do you want to transform or change how you respond to enemies? Do you want to mature or elevate, become more unbothered when it comes to those who may not be in alignment with you, giving them less of your energy? All right. Being less intimate with our enemies. Ugh. Hopefully you don't have enemies that like you're sleeping with the enemy. Whew. That's the energy I also got. Hopefully you're not feeling like you're sleeping with the enemy. Or that could be something that's being exposed. Because Taurus, you also have the planet of Uranus, who has retrograded back into the sign of Taurus. And Uranus is the planet of change, innovation. And he comes with a like a sudden change. So you could be having some enemies kind of exposed right now. Okay, so hang in there, Taurus. You could be learning who you can't trust. And you could definitely be learning how to handle those kind of energies in a way that's not going to drain you or take up too much of your energy. Okay. A Uranus retrograde Uranus, the planet, okay, that of surprise, and impacts our need for innovation and perspectives on revolution. When in retrograde, Uranus acts as a wake-up call and spotlight on areas of our lives where the ego's attachment to comfort is limiting our full potential to grow. Take advantage of the more objective perspective you might experience during this period to see things as they truly are. As they truly are. That's kind of a, almost a general energy. Uranus is a planet that has a pretty long retrograde, of a pretty long transit. So his retrogrades are a little bit longer. He's a little more of an outer planet as well. So his changes can cause a shift bigger than just ourselves. Okay? So you could definitely be seeing things a little differently. You could be being called to be more innovative or like revolutionary when it comes to change, like really switching something up. Okay? Uranus going into retrograde is allowing you to clear out that last little piece of energy, that last little scoop of residual crap to really change things as he goes back into Gemini. So Uranus moved into Gemini late June, early July. He went into retrograde and then he shifted back into Taurus in that retrograde. So he's helping to clear out whatever residual energy we have there that needs to be cleared out and allowing us to grow, to evolve, and possibly revolutionize and really change things like kind of abruptly. Okay? And if you're feeling someone, you know, like you're having like this sleeping with the enemy kind of energy, you're getting ready to do that. Like you're getting ready to cut that out. Like that's getting ready to be done. Okay? Like you can call on the energy of Scorpio to help you manifest that transformation, that death and rebirth. Okay? All right, let's get back to the tunes. Uh-oh. Oh no. Dang it, man. Oh well. All right, moving on to Gemini. Gemini, this moon is highlighting your 6th house of health, work, service, daily routines. It could be calling you, or you may be wanting to manifest being more practical, more meticulous. You might want to pay attention to more details. I feel like that's kind of natural for Gemini. But it could definitely be a place where you want to manifest more routine. You may want to love more on yourself, focusing more on your health, having a good work-life balance. You know, you're definitely preparing for pretty big transformation, pretty big change. You've clearing out some things in your subconscious mind, becoming more conscious of things, accepting more deeper truths or deeper truths, really allowing yourself to embrace change. But it's kind of starting with being a little more in routine, okay? Allowing yourself to find that stability, navigating this change by being more intentional with the details of your daily life. Okay, we're gonna have to settle for this without the speaker for now. All right, so moving to Cancer. Cancer, this moon is highlighting your fifth house of creativity, romance, children. Something could be changing. You could be becoming more creative, or you're getting an opportunity to be more creative. Maybe you could make music, you could write. You're definitely looking for opportunities to grow, to be better, to do better, to embrace expansion. Have there been changes with your children, or I'm not sure if siblings could possibly be here, but childlike or childhood energy is coming up. You could also be aligning yourself for romance. Does a new romance come with a child or children? Is that something that you are maybe contemplating or thinking about, Cancer? Hopefully everything is okay there with children. Cancer, you also have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, kind of like that territorial kind of energy. I really like Jupiter's energy. Jupiter also comes with luck. And he has like a philosophical kind of energy as well. And a Jupiter retrograde, which is going to go on. Retrograde, will double check, but Jupiter will be in your sign until next June, July. He'll stay in retrograde the entire time. He'll stay in retrograde in Cancer the entire time he's in retrograde. He won't go back into Leo or another sign, or back into Leo. But he's very supportive. So hopefully you're feeling the energy of Cancer. If you're a Cancer rising, you could be feeling this call to ascend, to grow up, to become more mature, to rise into who you're being called to be. If you're a Cancer sun, you could be feeling this in career or work or your purpose, like how you present yourself to the world. And if you're a Cancer moon, you could be feeling this, emotionally behind closed doors, within family dynamics, children, partnerships, siblings, that kind of energy. Okay. Jupiter impacts our curiosity and hunger for knowledge. This planet reminds us that life is not about the destination, but the journey itself, and provides energetic support with deep introspection, cultivating philosophical growth, and realignment with our intuition. So that's that you could definitely be being called to be more like emotionally intelligent, emotionally mature. Yeah. All right, Cancer. Leo, this moon is highlighting your fourth house of home, family, roots, foundation. Are you experiencing a transformation, a rebirth in home? Are you moving? Are you changing things? Have you sold a home or left a home? Has something been uprooted, or is it something you want to uproot? Are you manifesting a disconnect, a detachment? Is there something that you want to release with your own family dynamics? Things that may have occurred in your childhood, or certain things you don't want to repeat from childhood, or things you don't want to repeat when it comes to family dynamics. You can use this Scorpion energy to shift. Maybe you want things to be more intimate. Maybe you want things to be more passionate in the home, in the family. And you can call in this energy of the new moon in Scorpio to help you manifest that. And if you're here for change, you're rising into something different, something new, definitely use this energy to help you end a family dynamic that is no longer serving your best and highest good. Okay. All right. Virgo, this moon is highlighting your third house. Excuse me. Third house of communication, siblings, short trips, could be information, internet, social media, virtual things. Are you being called to be more inquisitive, more clever? Maybe kind of coming out of the details a bit, coming out of the weeds a bit, and just being wiser. Could be calling you to be more of a communicator or being more sociable. Is there something here that you want to manifest, whether it be a short trip? Maybe it's something you could want to do with siblings as well. Maybe it's an energy that you want to make more intimate, or you want to spend more time with siblings, or this is the energy that you're already in and you want to deepen your bonds and your relationships with your siblings. Maybe you are manifesting deeper communication. Maybe there's some things that you want to say that haven't been said. You want to express what's been left unsaid. You can definitely manifest that under this new moon in Scorpio, where you can have maybe more intimate conversations, more courageous conversations, just speaking more from a truthful, understanding, intelligent, emotionally intelligent kind of energy. Virgo, you also have the South Node in your sign, and he'll be there. I believe he's about halfway through now. But the South Node is the energy that we are being called to grow out of. It's the energy that we need to break away from and focus more on our North Node. So, like I mentioned, you could just be being called to not be so analytical, to not be so detailed oriented, and just kind of coming up for a breather when it comes to expression and expressing yourself from a more intuitive, inquisitive, emotionally mature space, and not so logical, possibly. It's definitely a call to like a more third eye, intuitive kind of energy versus like hard facts kind of energy. It's like being able to exercise your soft skills. Yeah. Moving away from energy that's like too grounded. Balance. You're seeking balance. All right. And then Libra, this moon is highlighting your second house of self-worth, self-love, values, possessions, finances. Are there areas where, you don't feel as strong? You may not feel as confident in certain areas. Are your surroundings or your community or the people that you connect yourself with, are they holding you back in some way, helping you stay stuck? How can you use this new moon in Scorpio to transform your second house? How can you use the new moon in Scorpio to elevate your possessions, your self-love, your self-worth, your finances? Are there things that you need to put to bed, things that you need to like stop doing that are holding you back or not allowing you to prosper? It could just be an energy that you have to discipline or ground for a little while until you kind of get more footing or better footing, so that you can kind of balance things out and allow yourself to just be a little more consistent and reliable. You could be reflecting on, where you may be a little overindulgent, and you just want to balance that energy out so that you can feel more confident and comfortable in your house of values, house of self-worth and possessions. Okay, so from what's going on in the sky, Libra, Gemini, Pisces, and Sagittarius energies, particularly risings if you are open for growth, If these are your sun signs, you could be feeling these things in areas of work. And if these are your moon signs, you could be feeling these things in areas behind closed doors at home, maybe internally, even emotionally. You could be feeling these energies pretty heavily right now. Like, you could be feeling that energy where you need to rest. You may not be feeling that strong. You could be feeling kind of weak. You could be questioning your surroundings, who you're around, the people you're around. Are they really for you? Are they really helping you, making you feel strong? Are they really helping you to come out of your brokenheartedness, your weakness? Or are they contributing to your weakness and your disappointment? Okay. All right. So I jumped ahead a little bit, but in this week in the sky, Mercury retrograde, this is wrong, moved into Scorpio earlier this week. Okay. And like I said, he'll be there until the 29th of November. Of course, we're celebrating the new moon in Scorpio. So that Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, I think I may have touched on it, but transformative energy in places of communication, information, and things of that sort. But it's like a breakthrough kind of energy. So like you could be like secrets could be being revealed. Like there's definitely a level of revealing. Things could definitely feel more passionate and intense with communication. You could also be learning a lot of truths, like heavy or deep truths. Okay, there could be some sexual kind of information, secrets that could be being revealed. That kind of makes me think about what's going on in the news. With certain cases or files being like released. That's definitely that Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Like a revisiting of information around intimacy, sexuality, transformation kind of stuff. All right. Then the moon will quickly shift into Sag because he's right up against it right now at 28 degrees in Scorpio. So he'll quickly shift into Sag as we also bring in Sag season. All right, so Sag season will start on the 21st of November. Sag is that adventurous, sign that has big ideas, very optimistic kind of energy. So for the most part, we should feel like a little bit of relief from the intensity and the depth that Scorpio can take us to. And of course, this depends on, your chart placements and things of that sort. You also have free will. You have free will to go against the energy. You have free will to be out of alignment. You have free will to force and control things. But just thinking about that and saying that out loud is very exhausting to me. Okay, and that's not the energy that we're carrying over here at MiSpot. All right. Next week, we will look into, or we can look forward to, Saturn retrograde coming to an end, Mercury retrograde also coming to an end, and Venus will shift into Sag. Okay. All right. Let's pull a card. I know that I don't know how long we've been. I do not know why this thing does not show me how long we are recording. It's the weirdest thing ever. I don't understand it. Okay. Hopefully that didn't, well, whatever. All right, Moonology. I'm going to try and hope and pray that we can only pull one card from these decks, but I wouldn't be who I am. This wouldn't be the celebration it's supposed to be if we don't pull a card. All right. Let me know if the energy resonates. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know who is, in alignment over here. I look forward to feedback. I also would love to get 10 likes on the channel, get to 100 subscribers. I'm very thankful for the 80 subscribers that, oh my goodness, that we currently have. Wow. Okay. All right. Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. It's not the first time confidence came up tonight. Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. This could be a message for Pisces to, tap in, that confirmation of going within and doing that deep shadow inner work. A time for healing. Balsamic moon. This is the energy that we're kind of in right now, especially with the water trines that we have going on. And what do you need to release? Waning moon. Okay, what we release helps us make room for what's in alignment. And I think I'm going to read the balsamic moon. It's a time for healing, because on the bottom of the deck we have expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. You can see it, hopefully. All right, and that's the other thing, that we did come out of an eclipse season that happened in Virgo season. I believe we also had it in eclipse, because that's how they work. So that's confirmation that we have successfully eclipsed out certain energies and spirits that don't serve us, are not for our best and highest good, and we are kind of cleaning up some of that residual that needs to be cleared out with emotional healing. Okay. A time for healing. Balsamic moon. Pulling this card suggests that the past is in the past and a bright future is beckoning. However, before you take your next step, make sure that both you and the situation feel healed. This is not the time to paper over cracks or to simply pretend that everything is okay. Rather, you still need a little more time to heal and to soothe both yourself and everyone else in need, or anyone else in need. Then remind yourself that anything is possible if you believe it. This is also a time to surrender and wait to hear guidance from the universe. Powerful insights can be had. If you know that someone or something really isn't good for you, this card is a reminder to surrender. Start to work on your belief in your dreams so you're ready when the time comes. Attuned to the moon. When one is healed, all are healed. Additional meanings. It's time to let go of the past. You're about to turn the corner. You need more time to heal. Think about how this situation would look if everyone were healed. The teaching. Patience is required at the time of the balsamic moon. It's a time for self-care as you slowly but surely prepare yourself for the new moon, which is just around the corner. No matter which point in the current moon cycle you have pulled this card, it's a reminder to go a little bit easy on yourself. The time to step into your creatrix power will come soon enough. Give yourself the time you need. So, confirmation of releasing the past, confirmation that the future is bright, confirmation that we're not to sweep over the cracks, or this energy is allowing us to revisit, or forcing us to revisit what was swept under the rug. Okay, I put that on my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at MiSpot Healing. All my information is in the description box. You can send me an email if you're looking for a one-on-one session, things of that sort. I do spiritual coaching, basically helping you to stay accountable, holding you accountable for your spiritual growth and the things that you want to accomplish and the goals you want to reach when it comes to your soul work. All right, which ultimately is going to allow you to embrace the prosperity that your soul desires and that your purpose is calling you to. All right, I digress. Remind yourself that anything is possible if you believe it. All right, surrender and wait to hear from the universe. Heavy on waiting to hear from the universe. That was a message I got earlier today during meditation, was to make sure that we are tapping in and asking source. That's how we put God first, is to ask source, what do you want from me in this situation? What do you want me to take from this? What are you trying to show me? What are you teaching me? What are you telling me? Like truly putting God first, tapping into our spirit first, and moving when the spirit leads us to move. Okay? Powerful insights can be had at this moment. If something or someone isn't good for you, this is the reminder to surrender and work on your dreams, your belief in your dreams, so that you are ready when the time comes. Heavy on when the time comes. I believe last session, last moon celebration, maybe the one before that, I was talking about people feeling like time is running out. And there are many people who feel that way. People are definitely going through a lot. And people could be feeling very low vibrational, could be feeling just low, stressed, depressed. There's been a lot of changes that haven't necessarily been for the better or positive changes. So there's energy that is suppressing and oppressing folks. And so we just want to make sure that we're focusing on our dreams and taking our time, like being patient with it, like building things with consistent repetition that is not looking for a get rich quick scheme or anything like that. It's really making sound judgment and good decisions towards your future. All right? When one is healed, all are healed. Think about how it would look if everyone were healed in the situation. All right, patience, time for self-care, slow down. That's what this Mercury retrograde is calling us to do. These, having 4 planets, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 planets in retrograde, along with Chiron. Heavy, heavy, heavy emotional healing work. And we're going to be in this for a little while. So put your seatbelt on, strap your boots up, and brace yourself. Get ready, because it's some deep work that's happening right now. All right, go easy on yourself and step into your creativity. Step into your creative power. All right, give yourself the time you need. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for that. Confidence is your key to success. Meditate and contemplate. And what do you need to release? Expect powerful change. It's already done. Eclipse season told us that it was already done. All right. I don't think I'm going to do Soul's Journey tonight. I'm going to jump into the Rumi deck, and then we'll do some angel numbers, and then we'll close it out. So focus on your goals. Focus on who you are being called to be, who you are growing into. Okay? Breaking away from that broken-hearted, not feeling good enough, I need people around me, or that codependent I need outside validation to feel good about myself. I don't like being alone. I can't be alone with myself. I don't like my thoughts. My alone thoughts make me feel weak. It's like you're embracing your own inner strength and realizing that you're never alone, and all you have to do is tap back into your heart space. We got 2. Sacred Phoenix Heart, number 21. And the All-Encompassing Hand, number 20. I don't think I've ever gotten this card. It's definitely on the right path. Definitely a divine alignment. Like things are happening in order. Let's see what's on the bottom. Blood Angel, number 7. So I think I'm going to read Sacred Phoenix Heart. That's like that rising from the ashes kind of energy. 21, breaking down to a 3, balancing of mind, body, and spirit. All-encompassing hand, number 20. Ugh, I'm a little torn. Definitely divine alignment, divine timing, like divinity, all things divine are all up and through here. All up and through here. Excuse me. All right. Sacred Phoenix Heart. Under the cover of blood, love veils many rose gardens. In total faith, love tenderly guides every lover to the garden of the heart. Reason says the world is limited in 6 directions. There is no way out. Love says there is a way, and I have traveled it many times. Rumi. How I adore you, defiant, rebellious heart. It knows that what for the mind is an end, is for the heart simply another match to ignite the sacred flames. It eats of love until it is filled, and then becomes hungry again and eats some more. And again and again. It eats of love until it is so full it must simply explode into a sacred fire of passion. It bursts, incapable of sustaining old consciousness in the expanse of blessings unlimited, lavished upon it through the great beloved's affection. It would be like attempting to fit an ocean in a teacup. So it does not. It bursts forth like a dying star into spectacular radiance, only to be reborn again, new and hungry for the next feeding frenzy in love's great banquet. How I adore your defiant, spectacular heart. Love guides us through travails that seem improbable, if not impossible. It does not shy away from any challenge, from any cause. It cannot. It is just love's way. Love says to us, there is always another way. You are receiving this guidance now. Perhaps you're scratching your head quizzically or in deepest despair because you appear to have met a dead end, a frowning no, or a dismissive laugh upon your quest to bring love alive. So then, do you choose to believe in love or in the death of sorts your heart faces? Your heart shall rally. I choose death because that is the portal of new life. And so it is wise, you see, but you must be brave. To be burned in love, by love, for love, will involve endurance of pain, but it will also place it in context. It is the shorter pain that is not compounded by erroneous thinking. That pain comes and goes quite quickly when you realize that love is simply, playfully smacking your wrist and saying, not that way. Not that way, beloved. There are great pitfalls on that path. Come take this one, where we shall wine and dance. So you are guided to accept the closed doors, the death, the pain, and to let it become tender for your fire. Cry whatever tears need to be cried so your tender can be dry and ready to create the sparks your heart needs. That sacred phoenix, ready to die into life within you, is hungry for the fire. Let it feast so it can fulfill its potential, its divine destiny, and become born again into new form, more divinely aligned and alive than ever before. This oracle comes with a message for you. You may feel as though you have been wandering in a desert for many years with no oasis in sight. You might have been through darkness, through trials, endured confusion and uncertainty as you sought for your truth, sought divine revelation, and sought your purpose to confirm your plans. Seek no more. The answers are now given, or very soon will be, and the life, the passion, the purpose, it will all come to you in clarity. Life does not need to be grasped for. Does life need to be grasped for? It is bestowed according to grace and destiny. It not need be sought so much as received. The spiritual destiny that calls your soul, even whilst you may feel your bodily ears are deaf to the call, makes your heart leap. It is though hearing the beloved's voice and stirring an ancient memory of love so powerful moves you, even without you necessarily understanding how or why. So let the life come to you. Be prepared to let the old version of your life pass away into the new life now being born. What does this mean? It means letting go of your striving, your opinions, your doubts, your despair, and your fears. Life wants to happen through you, blazing angel. You don't have to do much other than get out of your own way. Love is your nature. Let it flourish, and life shall unfold accordingly. This oracle brings a particular message regarding divine timing. That oh so significant factor in our dreams come into life. Your time is fast approaching. It may even be now. It may seem least likely to you. There may be great darkness or confusion, and yet the unveiling of a new dawn is closest to the deepest darkest of night, the deepest darkness of night. Do not turn back or away from your progress. Your very next steps shall be upon hallowed ground, rendered golden by the rays of the rising sun. Heart, take heart, okay? Your heart wants that fire, wants that burning love that like you're not afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let the old you die, all that doubt, all that fear, let it go, and allow yourself to embrace the love that you deserve. Allow yourself to be the love that you deserve. Thank you. Let's go ahead and pull an angel number, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. (2112) or 2112. It's up to you. Someone watching over you, good fortune, unforeseen forces, direction. Even if it seems like you're not making any meaningful progress, things are moving in the right direction. If you see this number, it's a sign that everything will work out in your favor and your dreams will soon come true. Heavy on the dreams coming true. We got 5 cards out here. All right, next is 1313. starting fresh, encouragement, goals, foundations, creative ventures, communication. Step out of your comfort zone. You are about to create something meaningful. All your skills and talents will bring you auspicious profits. Build up your confidence and trust in your decisions. Okay? Heavy on the decisions. Healthy decisions. Smart, wise decisions. 24/24. Good times. Leisure, rest, holiday, pleasure, love, affection, kindness, happiness. You are worthy of affection, leisure, and pleasure. If you tell your family and friends how you feel, you'll find that you're all on the same page and can work together effectively. Many people are rooting for you. If you spread love, it will find its way back to you multiplied. We got Thanksgiving coming up. Okay? It's going to be a time of coming together with family. This Thanksgiving is probably going to carry some heavy, some not big deal energy, transformative energy. It's going to, we also have a first quarter moon on the day of Thanksgiving. So I'll be right here. We'll be celebrating that. We have some things to look forward to, but I say stay the course through the year, through the end of the year. Stay the course through the end of the year. That doesn't mean you become a different person on January 1st, but just learning to be in flow with the energy and recognizing that we're going to have to be consistent and persistent in making good decisions throughout the year. Okay. 22/22. Feminine forces, relationships, balance, prosperity, efficiency, patience, humility. You can do everything by yourself, but life is to be shared. Partner up with the right spirit and you'll become a force. Honor commitments and people around. Don't judge, listen. (0808) Swift action, wealth, empathy, promises, commitment, affection, inner strength, auspicious outcomes. You will enter a time of expansion. So begin taking steps toward achieving your ultimate objective immediately. Finances will miraculously improve. Oh, and somebody has their mind set on you. Affection has come up several times. All right, and then bottom of the deck, 777. Good luck. Contentment, prosperity, abundance, spiritual awakening, divine intervention. This message is most likely to reach you during intense uncertainty. How many resonate with that? You'll come out winning from everything that may come your way. It's also a sign that you have much life experience and wisdom to share. Yet, you'll need enthusiasm and effort to get this message to others. Who resonates with that? All right. I love you, but God loves you more. Always go within so you never go without. And over here, we stay connected to the ones that sit high, look low, and see everything. All right. Thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night. And we'll see you here next week.